signed up to speak would be Rosanna Polito.
Thank you, Mayor and council
Yes, ma'am.
members, for allowing me to address the council on out-of-state landlords. And I remember when I was here March 27th, 2024, there were folks here who were concerned about dog breeders. And the mantra I heard from the city council was, we didn't know. Nobody told us. We didn't know. Nobody told us. So I'm here to tell you what's going on in our building. There's about 100 seniors, and we feel like the gates of hell have been opened and descended upon us. I want to share with you that some of the research I did took me 15 minutes to do. First, I want to tell you what's happened to us. Our manager, Tanya, who is now was fired last week, asked what she was doing is people would give their checks. They'd say it got eaten by the machine. They'd ask for another check. So the senior would go to the bank, find out both checks were cashed. Then Tanya said to this 82-year-old college professor, let me follow you to your bank. How many of you would want that to happen to your mother or father? The other thing is there was an 85-year-old woman with a walker. Tanya would not let her through the door. She said, no, you have to walk over there and do. How many of you, having an 85-year-old mother, would want to see that happen to her? What I have found is we are being told that CWLP, I guess they've changed their rules for this company, that has been totally unethical. Their behavior has been outrageous. And we never get answers. So I'm providing you findings of a lawsuit dated now May 2024 out of Maryland. This is what the suit says against the new management company that CWLP is going to thrust upon us. The lawsuit claims, among other things, that Yes Energy Management and Yardy acted as a collection agency in Maryland without a legally required Maryland collection agency license and violated Maryland law by charging fees in connection with this unlicensed activity. What has really been troubling for us seniors is the lack of communication. We are the ones collecting the brunt of this, but we don't have any communication as to what's going on. Many seniors, you know what, $800 might not be a lot of money to some of you. It is to senior citizens who are usually on a limited income. Many are out $800, or I keep asking and asking and asking, when are they getting their money back? They violated CWLP ordinance, but I get nothing. We talked with the new manager there who just started last week. He told us that each apartment has their own electric meter. He has since quit. I think he's a smart guy as far as I'm concerned. Now our old manager who used to work there for 3 years told us that's a lie. The apartments do not have their own separate electric meters. I'm going to tell you personally, with almost everybody I've talked to from this company, and you're going to see in that you can't get answers. Nobody will answer you. Nobody will communicate with you. They double charge by all these different things. People are saying that they've been charged and they can't get their money back, even though the company will admit that they've overcharged. So while I cannot afford a lawyer, I could not afford not to have a lawyer because they consistently lie. I got an eviction notice on my door, and I've got a call from the lady high up who said, oh no, don't worry about that. We see right here that you paid your rent. Only to be told 3 weeks later by the manager, you know what, I'm sorry, it's not paid. So you just go round and round and round with these people, you get no answers, but now CWLP in the city is allowing Yes Energy Management Yardy, who is really a collection agency if you do your homework, to descend upon over 150 seniors in our building and play havoc in our lives.
Where is this at?
Pardon?
She's asking what your address is. She wants to know where the
2801
location is.
Montaluma Drive. We were Homestead, then we were Serenity Manor, and now we are Meadowview Landing. Our out-of-state landlord is out of Colorado, and their company that they all over, you'll read in the information I gave you, is all over the United States. The complaints from the people, it's all the same complaints we have at 2801 Montaluma Drive. You can't get answers. There's no formula. We have in our Illinois statute how tenant utility payment disclosure is supposed to happen. It has not happened. This is Illinois law.
Ms.
So
Polito,
we just keep going around
you a
and
question?
around. And do you
Oh, I
want?
want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you had any conversations with Director Ethan Posey in our Community
I
Relations
have.
Department?
I have, and unfortunately, you know me, I'm honest. I called him at first when I was here and told to contact him, and he called and left a message and said, go to SangamonCounty.org and look up this and that and the other, and then you'll find out who to contact. That's all I got from him. And honestly, I did that. I put an honest effort in, and what it told me is I needed the parcel number. I didn't have the parcel number.
So I don't want you to say your phone number out loud in that microphone, but my chief of staff is in the back. Mike Disco, Mike, will you raise your hand, please? Give Michael your phone number, and I'll make sure that Mr. Posey follows up with you tomorrow. I think he's at the Lucky Horseshoes game tonight with the chief, so.
Yeah.
And we'll follow up with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't believe that the city of Springfield, you have to know, I've only been in Springfield 10 years. Many of these seniors there have been here all their lives. They're taxpayers. And I feel like, until it's proven differently, that the city and CWLP is siding with this big corporation who all across the country is causing havoc. Again, it took me 15 minutes to find out all the information, that I'm giving you. It's absolutely unethical, disgusting behavior by Yes Energy Management and Yardy.
If you'll follow up with Mr. Disco, we'll
I
follow up with you.
will. Thank you,
ma'am.
Mayor.
Mayor,
Thanks.
can we get Doug up here since she's talking about, I'd like to have
Mr.
Doug.
Brown, Mr. Hanauer wants to talk to you.
I kind of want to hear your side of it.
Sure.
I'm sure you've been dealing with it.
Debbie Williams, the Regulatory Affairs Director for the utility, has been handling a lot of these issues. There's some residents in that same area that had some bills that they were able to share with us, and she basically made contact with the company, and they kind of came to a resolution that they would fix the bills, go back to normal for the utility billing by September. And unbeknownst to us, it just happened here, I think maybe just this past week, at the end of the week, the company changed like their vendor again that does their billing. And they hit new people with some different charges so she's been trying to get them to respond about it because it's a national company that does, like, they changed their whole billing process, I guess, and they did it across the board, across the country. So we know very little about this newer arrangement that they're doing. But as far as the utility goes, the only thing we can do is ask them to stop, ask them to change, and then, as far as then, I guess, it just turns over to Corporation Council at that point. But she's the people that she's been in talk with our customers that have actually came forward with their bills and showed us that. I've been pretty happy with Debbie's response and her communication with them. So.
Thank you. Alderwoman Conley?
Don't leave.
She wants you to stay.
Just real quick, is there any agreement with CWLP to allow any sort of add-on billing? for
No,
this management
no,
company?
no.
So there is no way that they're authorized to do any additional billing or
That's
service
not, yeah,
fees?
that's correct.
Okay.
They are not authorized.
My bill.
Can't talk from out there, sorry, you're out
Yeah.
of order.
So anything that would be occurring like that would
They would be in violation of city code then at that point.
yeah, and
And
that's on the
would be
management company and not.
Corporation
not the-
council then at that point.
I
But
just
the
wanna-
utilities, the only thing we can do is ask them to stop from our, position, and then we have to turn over to the attorneys.
Thank you.
Alderman Redpath.
So this lady brings a valid point to us in Corporation Council. It's not just this piece of property that we're talking about, it's the Lincoln Towers situation. Where do we go? We keep, I'm not blaming anybody, but we keep spinning our wheels here on the Lincoln Towers thing's a disaster. What this lady just explained to us is a disaster, but who do we get to fix it? How do we fix it? You got any ideas?
Well, so those are, from my perspective, two completely separate issues, right? One is an out-of-state landlord that's not doing repairs, and one was adding on bills. And as soon as Debbie contacted the company and said, "Hey, your billing process doesn't comply with our ordinances," those have been changed. And then, as Doug said, they changed vendors, and some new bills were sent out, and we're trying to address those. If they don't, then we'll haul them into court. But at this point, they're getting demand letters, and they're trying to fix it on the billing side. Now, when we're bringing somebody into court with Lincoln Towers, and there's they're going through bankruptcy or receivership, that's where we get into the court process that slows it down. And one of the things that we've discussed is having to have a local manager and to facilitate those repairs. That was something that's been discussed, but it's an issue. We go through what we can and try to get judgments and collect money when we can, and when we do, I think we collected a major judgment about 2 years ago. That's what we can do on the legal side and compel fixing it or demolition.
So that's my frustration. My frustration is that we get to the point, and I'm not blaming you because I know you're doing what you got to do, but we get to the point where it's like a shell game that these out-of-state landlords are dealing with when they're using the process to file bankruptcy and extend the problems to the next group who ends up doing the same thing again. And the situation with this thing, is it legislation that has to be passed or looked at the state level to get this under control? Because we're not the only ones going through this. Every community our size has probably got the same problem. But the poor people at Lincoln Towers, they're one catastrophe away from disaster over there. And we all know that. And this situation is not the same, but it's a similar situation because it comes down to that out-of-state landlord. And we got to figure this out. We got to figure it
I will
out.
say having a local manager is not necessarily an answer because Old Town Apartments, I'm going to use Alderman Donlin's favorite subject, has a local manager. They don't return the manager's calls.
And we had this discussion before the meeting about Old Town Apartments and what was the other one?
Oh, Valley
Oh,
Valley.
I mean, these
Which had a
are
vulture on the
plagues.
top of one of the buildings.
These are plagues on our city. They're plagues, and we got to get those things cleaned up. But I understand her frustration. She has a right to be upset. I know Deb Williams is an honorable lady, and she's probably trying to take care of this problem for us, and I applaud her on that. But we just keep hearing the same scenario, different things, same scenario.
Alderwoman Purchase?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Corporation Council I think what just alarmed me is me thinking about my grandma when you say you got seniors in the building and some people don't have people who looking after them and their paychecks are being taken away. Wouldn't they need to call like the Attorney General? Like when you got people, I'm not using the word scamming seniors, but just something going on.
Right, so if there's believed to be a fraud or consumer deception, then that's an avenue they can go. I know that it was mentioned there's not enough money for a private attorney, but there would be a reasonable dispute as to whether or not these additional charges were